PushGapRadio.com, Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth.
The next bitch I hear call this generation lazy, you gotta see me. Because bitch, when the pandemic happened and all the essential workers were forced to go to work, we got to see exactly who the fuck y'all think is an essential worker. Now tell me why ain't most of the motherfuckers cannot afford to pay their lights, water, car notes, insurance, bills, gas, whatever the fuck, all the basic shit, some internet, have enough money left over to put some in savings so you can actually save and invest, and also have enough left over to just have in your fucking pocket, and then also have enough left over to maybe take a small vacation every month. And if anybody heard me list all that shit and you was like, man, you asking for too much, your ass got to see me too, bitch. Because to me, that sound like a basic ass life. And you know why? Because the same bitches that are called people lazy for asking for a fucking higher minimum wage or more hours or goddamn just asking for anything different than what they got. Them same people will tell you to invest with what money, bitch? Them same people will tell you to save with what money, bitch? Them same people will tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. What fucking boots? I ain't even got socks on. So nah, cuz it's not that the millennials and Gen Z and all the motherfuckers alive today don't want to work. It's that they see that bullshit ass dream y'all selling about working hard ain't gonna fucking get you nowhere. Cause you could be working hard and jogging in motherfucking place. Y'all asking people to work hard and run full speed in place. But what they saying is, I don't mind working hard if you actually gave me some shit that if I worked hard on, it would become something. Here go the real problem. You old motherfuckers have been selling people a fucking dream and they was buying it for years. But now that people done stopped buying that bullshit, now they the problem.
PushGapRadio.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Welcome to another edition of Shaka Full One in the main event with Jackie O. What's the business?
What's up, everybody? It's good to be back.
It is always good to be back. One of my biggest pet peeves is these folks who run around here and keep calling the American workers lazy. I listened to a couple of people out on social media, influencers, if you will.
Right.
And it's like once they get the bag and make their money, now they become like the capitalists and the elitist. Now all of a sudden everybody's lazy. Nobody wants to work, this, that, and the third. You never consider that we did not send ourselves home during the pandemic.
Right.
And then what made it so sad to me is the fact that you start making more money on unemployment than you made at your job.
Yeah, that was some stuff. But, you know, what a lot of people fail to realize is some people have been, successful in their careers and really haven't had the struggle that others have had.
Right.
A lot of people are not realizing that even though there are an abundance of jobs, these jobs are not really paying any wages, especially with the increase in the cost of living nowadays.
Right, because anytime you ask them how much they pay, and nobody ever has a response for that part.
Yeah, I know people that are working 2 full-time jobs just to make ends meet. And it's not like they're living extravagantly or anything like that.
Exactly.
So if you have a job that's only paying $10 an hour or whatever, who can live off of that? You can't pay rent off of $10 an hour. So,
right.
So of course there's going to be an abundance of those type of jobs that are out there. But then with them letting the migrants in and giving them work visas, well, $10 an hour to them is a lot of money.
Yeah,
so
from where they come from.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they're helping to keep driving the cost of wages down.
Yep, for everybody.
Excuse me. Yes.
Why Americans don't want to go to work is not because they're lazy. America has sold us the American dream for decades, okay? And now that people don't buy into the bullshit, all of a sudden we're lazy. Think back to the thing where when black people were no longer slaves. Mm-hmm. Once we weren't working for free, all of a sudden we damn lazy. Okay? And that's what the hell it comes out to. And again, I'm not going to call any names for these people that I watch, and they're black people. But now that you secured the bag, all of a sudden everybody's lazy. This comes from the auto workers.
Mm-hmm. The strike.
Yep, that I was listening to them talk about. And, one person on TikTok made the statement that the government created 2 things, mm-hmm. the IRS and classism. Okay.
I have issue with this comment, particularly about the comment that Americans are lazy. The majority of Americans are not. If anything, they are overworked, underpaid, and overstressed. In a study done by the OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the United States was ranked third, right under South Korea and Chile, for the most stressed out country in the world. To even afford living under a roof, you have to have more than one stream of income. Some have two, I've had three at one point. And the use of prescribed antidepressants in the United States have been rising, as well as diagnosed rates of anxiety, particularly with 18 to 25-year-olds. And please note that a lot of these stats were pre-pandemic, and with intermediate case studies, the number has been rising. And with many apartments no longer offering a kitchen, making food is virtually impossible.
And that's who's lazy. These people who work on Wall Street, you venture capitalists, the government, you're the one that's lazy. Okay, it's like you said, you don't want to pay. And then a lot of people were getting ghosted on jobs. You said it was a ton of jobs out there. Mm-hmm. People would put in resumes and people would go to interviews and then you'd never hear back from the people, this, that, and the third. Okay, and it's like you said, the immigrants are the ones who are driving down. And that's what America wants. The immigrants are going to be driving down wages. But America was built on free or cheap labor.
Right.
This is how they make their money. And if you turn on the news, you'll see on any news you watch, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, that they all want you to believe that the reason why many Americans are not going back to work is because they're lazy. Okay, and it's not laziness. That's not the reason why people ain't working. Okay, one issue, again, is the low wages. People are barely making it. How many different jobs do most people have today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You work your regular job. You may work a part-time gig job like Uber or Uber
other
Eats
side hustle
or some other side hustle that you got going on. And you got to do all this in order to maintain.
And then think of all of these college graduates. They spend all of this money on student loans and whatever.
Yeah.
Getting these degrees. They graduate and then can't find jobs in their field. Mm-hmm. So that definitely is not laziness. That's something else that's lacking somewhere.
And then you want me to have a master's degree, a double master's degree. You want me to have all this crap for $15 an hour. Mm-hmm. Okay? The math ain't mathing.
Keep hearing over and over how people just don't want to work these days.
All right, so you're going to want to go ahead and pull out your calculator, hit save, because we're going to do some math together. I absolutely love this guy because he does the same thing I do. It's not a millennial thing. It's not a boomer thing. It's not a Gen Z thing. Those are labels that people are trying to give us to keep us separated. It is an American worker thing. Nationwide, the average rent is $1,000 a month. Nationwide, the average car note is about $600 a month. Nationwide, the average pay is about $12 an hour. 12 times 40 is $480 before taxes. Averaging out 4 weeks in a month, that's $1,920. Even if you do the math and bring it up to $15, $16, $17 an hour, the numbers don't always add up. Yet you still keep hearing companies complain that nobody wants to work. The idea that this generation is lazy is silly, because it's not just the young kids anymore, guys. When so many of us lost our jobs because of COVID, I was looking for anything myself. I mean, there are people working at restaurants who can't even afford to eat at the restaurant they're working at, and you want to call them lazy. People working in healthcare that can't even afford to take their kids to the doctor. And people working for retail stores that they can't afford to shop at. It's not a matter of work ethic. Just ask yourself, if you wouldn't do it for that price, why do you expect someone else to do it? If you're recording record profits and your company is a revolving door of people coming in and out, common sense tells me it's pretty clear to see where the problem is. It's the old phrase, you get what you pay for, and companies are starting to realize they're getting what they pay for.
Okay, so yeah, they realize the problem. You making this money, and it's just not enough to survive.
Right.
And another thing with me was you had these, I think she's the CEO of Chrysler, Stellantis, they call it today. Mm-hmm. And during the interview, the lady asked her, why do you get a 46% raise, but your workers get a 6% raise. She talking about, well, because productivity is up, this, that, and the third. Chick, you the one who work in the office.
She's getting all those bonuses.
You taking home $30 million, okay? You taking home $30 million freaking dollars because productivity is up. If productivity is up, what about the guy that's putting the engine in the car?
Share the wealth.
What about the person that's putting the windshield in the car, the transmission in the car?
Right.
See, everybody is valuable to the company, from the janitor to the CEO.
You know, and I'm going to have to look this company up. There was a company in Houston, 2 years, they proved what an employer is supposed to do. The first year, their employees hit this quota, everybody got new cars. It didn't matter if it was the janitor,
right.
all the way up to the president of the company. They gave them a challenge. The next year, if they meet these goals or exceeded these goals, they were going to get a bonus. The next year, they hit it during their Christmas little celebration.
Right, I remember that
Every
company.
single person, including the janitors, got $100,000 bonus.
Because they said that after they hit their point throughout the year, everything that came in profit after that, they put in a separate bank account. They never told the employees. They just invited them to the Christmas party. But once we hit our point where we made our money for the company, this was our goal for the year, to make, I don't know, 50 million.
Right.
Once we hit 50 million, everything that started coming in after that went to another bank account, and then they start giving, like you said, the bonuses out at the Christmas party.
I need to look them up and see what happened after that, because they were going to continue it, but I haven't seen anything about it since then. But it was like, that's what you do as a company.
That's what you're supposed to do. Only 50